Guinea, all the rest are English speaking. Okay. So they would prefer to do business with the French speaking than with the English. The French are like that anyway. That is how they live. So in 2005, when they did the ranking of ports, 2004, Singapore was reigning, followed by Shanghai, Rotterdam, Hong Kong, Nagoya, and Antwerp, Klang in Australia, Antwerp, Belgium, Nagoya, Japan, Hong Kong, now China. Then Rotterdam is the Netherlands, Shanghai, and Singapore. In 2005, it had changed. Shanghai had overtaken Singapore, and currently, out of the 10, I don't have that in my slide here, but currently, out of the 10 major ports in the world, 7 of them are in China. Yes. They mean business. That is why they are here doing your roads, and our engineers, so-called engineers, are busy sleeping. So currently, 7 of the major ports are all in China. Most of the existing ports. Rotterdam in the 70s was the #1 port, but now it has been overtaken, and it is, at the last tail end when you look at the port rating. It doesn't rate anymore. The world sea trade lanes, as you can see, you see that it is very busy between Europe. It is very busy in this part here, very busy. And then these days, as I told you, formerly when they were from Europe, from Russia here, this is the Scandinavia, Russia here, those people who are fighting their here. So from here, this is the Scandinavia, Norway and Sweden, Finland, and then Denmark is just somewhere here. So when they were moving, the ships all came either through here, the English Channel is here, either through the north, but mostly they passed here, came all around Africa, through the Cape of Good Hope, this is Cape Town, and then they went this way. But currently, as you can see, most of them go through the Suez Canal here. Yes, the Suez Canal is here. Most of them go through the Suez Canal and then to Asia, Australia, and then even to the western coast of North America. Yeah. Some also go through the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal here, the smaller vessels here, and then they come this way also. So Africa is not doing so well when it comes to trade. If you see the trade lanes are the white ones, the transatlantic ones are the white ones, that is across the Atlantic. It is mainly the North Atlantic, okay, because we have America here and then you have Europe. The trade between them is greater than between other places. Then you have the Australasia, that is Australia to Asia, this way. You have the Latin America, ships coming from Europe to Latin America, from America to Latin America here. And then you have Asia, the green one, which is here. And then the others, okay, that is Africa. Instead of laughing, you should be thinking of ways of improving the system, don't you think so? Because these people, they didn't laugh to get there. They meant business. They meant business like that. Please, if you look at these Chinese, when you see the Chinese, a lot of you don't respect them. But they are very, very serious-minded people. I mean, and they are very, very cooperative when it comes to each other, dealing with each other. When a Chinese gets a problem, he can talk to any of his brethren. They will sit down around the table and solve that issue within a matter of minutes. But us, no. It's each for himself. And that is why they are able to. Because with a population of 1.7 billion people, They are about 1/5 of the world's population. Between them and China, between them and India, they take about half of the world's population. And so they have to help each other. Okay? In Africa, we don't do that. We've demarcated, put walls around us. This is Ghana, this is Nigeria, this is Togo, and so on. And we are not moving ahead. The seaports by region, when you look at the various parts of the world, in North America, on the west coast, the main ports move from and to Asia Pacific is Los Angeles or Long Beach Island Port, and you have San Francisco, which deals with mainly containers. Then you have Seattle, Oakland, also in the US, Vancouver in Canada. If you look at the North American region, these are the major ports. Okay? Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, and then Vancouver. That is not to say these are the only ports. They have hundreds of ports, but the big ones that handle volumes of cargo are these ones. Then on the east coast of North America, you have, that is cargo from Europe and the Mediterranean or Africa via the Atlantic, and cargo from South America. You have New York, Boston, Charleston, and Montreal in Canada. And then in the south, you have Houston and Louisiana. Louisiana is a major, a very big port for the shipments of grains, because they are just at the confluence of the Mississippi River. So most of these barges I told you about, they come to the Louisiana port, even for redistribution around the American coastlines, and some to Canada, some to South America, and so on. So it's a very busy port. Then when you get to South America, you have Tubarão, Sapatiba in Brazil for dry cargo. And then in Europe, you have Rotterdam, as I told you, the Netherlands for container and bulk cargo. The bulk cargo here the bulk cargo that is shipped in the Netherlands is mainly oil. Netherlands, they don't have oil. They don't mine oil or exploit oil from the seabed, whether at the sea or on their land, but they control the world oil market. They have big tanks all over the place and refineries. You see, they capitalize on what they have, and that is human capital. And they built up and they built that country, and that is how come they are able to come and give us aid. We who have diamond, cocoa, manganese, bauxite, everything here, they still have to come and give us aid, because the human capital, because of how they utilize their human capital in building up their infrastructure and the place. So they control the world oil market. Sorry. Then you have Antwerp in Belgium, which does containers and bulk cargo. You have Hamburg and also Bremen, the two ports in Germany. They handle a lot of cargo. And then when you go to France, you have Le Havre, and then St. Petersburg in Russia, which also deals with bulk cargo. Russia and Ukraine also, they grew a lot of grain, and that is why the war there is impacting the world negatively. They grow a lot of grain. They also export oil and gas. When you go to the Mediterranean region, you have Goya, Taro, then you have Genoa, all in Italy. They do container. You have Algeciras, and then Valencia, Barcelona in Spain, they do containers. Then in the Red Sea and Gulf area, that is the near sea, we have the Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, and they do bulk cargo and containers. These days, a lot of the ships do transshipment in Dubai. They bring the bulk cargoes from the they bring the container cargoes from the Far East, put them in Dubai, and then they distribute them to Europe and other parts of the world. Then you have Salah in Oman, and Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. In Asia, you have Shanghai, China, which does container and bulk cargoes. Singapore, container and also bulk. Singapore, the bulk is mainly refineries. They also do a lot of refining of petroleum, crude oil. And then you have Hong Kong in China. You know, Hong Kong used to belong to the British, but it was ceded to them, and now the Chinese have taken it back. So you have container and then bulk cargo. You have Shenzhen, and Guangdao, Dalian, Ningbo, Tianjin, Xiamen, all in China. Guangzhou, all in China. And these ports are the ones I've told you have taken over. Dalian, Shenzhen, Ningbo, Tianjin, they've taken over Xiamen. So now you have Shanghai, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now occupying the Jianghu is not up to the number to the class. So it's the 7, and then you have Singapore, Rotterdam, and I think the other one is Busan. In China, in Japan, you have Nagoya, mainly container and bulk cargoes. You have Busan in Korea, Kaohsiung in Taiwan, then Dampier and Headland in Australia. They also do dry bulk. Most of the cargoes from Busan is also containers. When you come to Africa, on the west coast you have Tema, Dakar, Abidjan, and Lagos, Apapa. And in South Africa you have Durban, and then in East Africa you have Mumbai.